Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Maximize Your End of Year Fundraising Potential. I am Marc-Antoine Lebert, Sales Manager for the Professional Services at Yapla, and it is a pleasure to be with you today in order to present you how we help our users maximize their fundraising. While we wait for our last users to join the webinar, maybe check on the right of your screen. You will see the chat window. I invite all of you to say hi, maybe present yourself and for what organization you're coming today, and what interests you to discover about the platform and what we do. So before we start, also maybe check to the left of this chat window. You will find a question window. Be sure to leave any question you might have in there. We will come back to it at the end of the presentation. And as well, there's a survey window, a polls window. So at various moments during the presentation, I will activate polls. So be sure to leave a reply and let us know how you're doing. So what is on the docket today? So first of all, we will look at what is Yapla, who are we, what we do, and how do we help our users. We will then take a look at a few different approaches to receive donations for your organization. We will look at a list of different tips to attract new donors. And we will discuss the best practices for building engagement and a lasting relationship with your donors. In the end, we will take a quick tour of how Yapla can help you with all of this and move on to the Q&A session. So, quick survey before we go, but currently, what payment method do you currently use to receive your donation? So while we receive the votes, let's carry on with the presentation. So Yapla is the most comprehensive no-fee donation platform on the market. It intends to help you free yourself and your team from tedious tasks, collect and manage your donations easily, centralize your data in a single platform, and help you grow your base of donors. Be sure to check out our website if you haven't, but let's carry on with the platform. So first of all, we offer a full no fees, no commission experience through our voluntary contribution model. This allows you to receive 100% of the amount you collect through your donations activities. And during the payment process, your community can choose to contribute to keep making Yapla free of fee for your payment processing. Yapla is dedicated to the success of NPOs. It has been 10 years where we've been working alongside NPOs. We've collected over $250 million with the platform, and we help over 45,000 nonprofits streamline their daily activities through the platform. So let's take a look at a few different approaches that are available to raise funds. First of all, the traditional donation model. This is where you will create traditional donation campaign, be they for your operational expenses, a generic on-running campaign, or a project-specific campaign aimed at raising donation to help launch more specific project activities or fund different initiatives. There is two types of traditional donations that most people will offer. The first one is the classic one-time donations. And the other one, which is rather interesting, is the recurring donation, where people will give their information to give periodic donations. This helps stabilize a lot of the incoming cash flow when it comes from donation. The second big model we manage is the fundraising events. So this is where you will organize an event to gather your community and where a portion of the proceeds will be donations and help you fund various projects. The interest of fundraising activities is that it allows to raise awareness about the cause you are protecting or the different initiative you're putting forward. It also helps to foster a sense of community by bringing people together, give them occasions to meet, to collaborate, and make them feel like they are part of a larger group. It is also a great occasion to collaborate with either local business, local politician, public figures in order to help enhance your visibility and bring your community together. A few examples of this would be a charity gala, concert, auctions, but it could be also benefit suppers or a wide array of events. In the current post-pandemic context, a thing that is super important to note is that people are looking to minimize travel and maximize benefits of such kind of events. So it is super important to let them know why they will be coming, what will be happening, and give them a great overview of why your event is important to them. So be sure to communicate on that subject. A third big branch of campaign will be the peer-to-peer campaigns. Now, a peer-to-peer campaign is where you will leverage your community to help them get more donor for you through their network. So a peer-to-peer event is an event where each of your donors will be able to create their own campaign. They will be able to share it with their community, and through that, you will be able to reach much further than you would using only your own base of contact, as you can use all of your contacts' base of contact. A few examples of that would be charity runs, bicycle events, ski events, and many other well-known peer-to-peer activities. When you organize peer-to-peer campaign, it is super important to equip your participant with a great communication toolkit so that you can ensure yourself that they will be transferring your message properly and highlighting the most important items of what you wish to convey. So be sure to have a great communication kit, but peer-to-peer campaign, when used correctly, can be a great tool to vastly expand your donor database. As once those donors in your own donors network come and make donations to you, well, then you will be able to reach out to them easier in the future, and this can scale up your operation quite a bit. Now, a fourth type of activities, which is not exactly donation per se, but can be, depending on the circumstances, will be sales. A lot of organizations organize fundraising to sales of different items, be they calendars, chocolates, cards, even clothes, whatever it may be. The main purpose of it is to allow to diversify the funding sources that you will have, while also it might be an opportunity to put your name on stuff and have some goodies that can be shared on a larger scale to raise awareness about your organization. So be sure to check out, depending on how you organize it, if there's any portion of it that are available to generate the charity bills. But in any case, it is a great additional source of fundraising, and a lot of such activities happens around this time of year. So let's look at a few tips on how to attract new donors, because that is often the main issue that a lot of organizations encounter. They have a donor base which donate periodically, but they don't know how to get 20, 30% more donors the next year and keep growing as they go. So first of all, it is important to build your campaign on solid foundation. You need to develop a clear framework as to what your campaign is, what is its purpose, what is its goal, how long should it last, what project will it fund, what will it be. If you don't have a clear internal framework as to what the campaign is supposed to be, who is supposed to aim at, and what it's supposed to do in the end, it will be really hard to communicate that effectively to your potential donors. The second crucial step is to do a precise targeting of what are the donors you're targeting, what type, age, why are they your target, what do they do, and if you have a great idea as to who you're targeting and why you're targeting them, it will greatly improve the way you can convey your message to them and make them feel the importance that they bring to your organization. The third big step is to create thoughtful, personalized communication. Now, of course, We won't reach out to every individual donor on a personal basis, but there's many ways to help you personalize your communications nonetheless. By having well thought out communication that will vehiculate your framework, your why are they donating, what are they participating to, what are they doing, it will greatly improve the success rate of those communication and make people want to get involved with your organization. Um, Finally, it is super important to have an efficient internal organization. Who will be working on a campaign? Who will be doing the communication? Who will be talking to the donors? Who will be doing a post-event follow-up? What are the different tools you will be using? What will you need to do at different steps? If you have a clear-cut organization, it will help you be more efficient, waste less resources on a campaign itself, and thus benefit more from the fundraising you're doing by having less of it spent on managerial items. Now, what is crucial to keep donors coming is to put their experience at the heart of your campaign. Have easy process, easy to fill form, easy to do payment, flexible, secure payments method, and an easily obtainable tax receipt. If people have to chase you or ask you questions at any of those steps or for any of those items, you in all likelihood will lose many donors along the way. So be sure to simplify your process as much as can be while still being rigorous to allow an easier experience for your users. And by bringing that easy experience along with great communication, your users will have less time to spend on doing it and will have a greater feedback as to what their action has done. So that is really, really crucial to help them come back next year. Because if they have a poor experience, you might have lost someone. And as they say, it is 10 times easier to keep someone coming back than to get a new donor. Now, a quick focus on the tax receipts. I know not every organization can issue tax receipt. It is important to know that whether you can or not, you are still eligible to receive donations. Now, the registration process with the CRA has many conditions attached to it. If you are not yet registered and you are a nonprofit and wish to have a charity status, I highly recommend you apply today through the process with the CRA. There is a few steps to follow, but it will help you greatly to increase your donor base. If you cannot issue tax receipt, it is a bit tougher to convince any larger donor to donate to your campaign, as they won't have the same incentives as they might have with other competing charities. So be sure to check up with the CRA, go through the process. I am not a lawyer here to educate you on all these specifics, but it is super important to add that as a card to your collection so that you can put that up in front and have an easier time gathering donors. Anyway, in any way, shape, or form, you can still collect donation. I want to insist on that, so it is not a big problem. You can go through with all the other items we will be counseling on today, but it is a big step up to be able to actually emit those receipts. Fortunately, if you're working with Yapla, you can do donations both with or without receipt, and you can adapt it at any time if at a point you are able to emit those receipts in the future to fully automate that. So now that we've chatted on those receipts a bit, let's take a look at the best practices to build engagement with your donors community and build lasting relationship with them. So first of all, it is super important to equip yourself with tools that will help you structure your organizations, facilitate your work, and save time. You want to maximize as much of the donations you can receive. And as I mentioned earlier, any amount of that spent on managing those process is money that is not spent in an optimal way that could be used for your process. So avoid manual data entry at any step of the process at all costs. It is important to use various tools to automate your communication while still keeping them personalized. As I said, while we do want to personalize our message, it is impossible to do so at a large scale in a manual way. So what we will do is use various tricks and tools to personalize those communication in an automated fashion so that people can still feel targeted while not having to spend all the time to write individual emails. Um, it is super important to automate the creation and sending of tax receipts. Too often do I meet organizations who still do that by hand. They have someone that is just going through the spreadsheet, printing receipts one by one, putting them in the mail, or sending a manual email with the receipts attached. That is so much time you could be spending elsewhere to either grow or retain your donor database. Um, Now, on the same level, it is super important to simplify the accounting process for the same reason that we were talking about it for the tax receipts, for the data entry, for the communication. By simplifying your accounting management, you will ensure that you spend as little of your hard earned fundraising as possible on managing those fundraising process. By having those four key items in mind, we can look at how you will reinvest that time. Now, the first point where you wish to reinvest that time is by improving your communication. Communication is the name of the game when it comes to distinguishing you from others' organization around you. It is super important to build a well thought out thank you message and to enhance the communication of your activities, of the results of your project. So be sure to keep your donors informed. To do all that, you can, of course, test various channels you might not be using. Nowadays, we live in a connected world. You can use videos, mail, social network. You can have flyers. You can do a bunch of things. But by using those various channels to keep them as much as possible up to date onto what you're doing, it will give them more interest in working with you, helping you out, and getting involved in your organization. Now, the most important aspect of all that is to create a ritual. You want to create an anticipated annual event where people will keep coming back for year to come. And this start as soon as your campaign finish. Let them know of your success, of what you're planning for next year. You don't have to have a full outline of every detail, but by letting them know that this is not a one-time thing, they will already be prepared to participate for the next year. So anytime you do a campaign or an initiative, be sure to plan what will be the follow-up on that. Because if you communicate early and effectively on that, you will save half the trouble of getting those people back on board afterward. So really, really great idea to make a ritual out of those and keep people coming year after year. So we've looked at a few pro tips on how we can manage things, simplify things, automate things. Now, of course, the big question is how can Yapla help you with all of this? So what is Yapla itself? It is a toolkit that will help you simplify the management of all of your process. We offer a wide varieties of items to help you simplify your memberships, your events, your donations. We have an integrated CMS to create and generate website or web pages straight from the platform. We have an accounting system to help you automate the consolidation of all of those items and emit automatically any receipt that need to be sent. We have an integrated newsletter system to help you communicate easily with your community. We have the data system, which we will skip over today, but can help us through a ton of process to collect various data or manage specific activities. And we have the contacts database. All of your contacts will fall in the contacts database, be synced up to the newsletter, and basically will help you a lot with reaching out to your community. So how does it all articulate? Well, Yapla is a 100% free, no fees solution. You can easily open your account today and start working with it. You can start doing your online donation in a few minutes without having to pay any money. And as we saw earlier, there's a no fee structure for the online payment that is available to you. We help you with the various fundraising method we saw earlier. So through Yapla, you will be able to create a one-time campaign, recurring donation, peer-to-peer events, and sell various items. So all of those various means of fundraising are available to you through the platform and can be easily set up. Now, it also has a fully integrated donor database. So it's super easy to start tracking your donations, your donors. And since all of that is linked to the contact database, you will have always up to date contact info, always up to date mailing info in the newsletter. By using the platform, you will automate not only the donation process online, but also the issuance of your various tax receipts if need be, the entry into the accounting system, and you will as well be automating various communication to thank your donors, help build loyalty, and send various message to keep them coming for your campaigns. So basically, we intervene at just about every step of the donation process, and let's take a look at how this all works. So here I will be moving to my own Yapla account. Now, Yapla is a SaaS-based solution. And as soon as you get running, even if you don't have a website, even if you just have a Facebook page, you can have a campaign up and running in a few clicks that is ready to go and ready to gather your donation in automated pages just like this one that are generated by the system. But let's take a look at what's behind. So here is my account. As you see, I have access to all of the various modules we can be working with. So maybe you're going to be fundraising through your events. Maybe you have memberships. Let's take a look though, mainly at donations for now. So here I will get into my campaign system. This is where we will manage all of the various fundraising activities we are hosting. So once we have set up our campaign, if it's a yearly thing, you can come in, duplicate them, super easy to use for the future. Inside the campaign itself, this is where you will manage your received donations, the emission of receipts, the various forms you might use to receive those donations, the automated communication, all is there to simplify your management. Once you're ready to go, this is where you generate the web page we were just looking at a few seconds ago. So how does this all work? Well, basically, it is pretty much automated. Once you go through the campaign creation process, the form is automatically generated and it is ready to be used to emit your receipts. All the information that you need are there. You don't even have to touch it. That being said, if you wish to add additional fields, maybe title fields for your automated communication or stuff like that, you can create any amount of field you might need down the line and add them in a quick drag and drop fashion into your forms. Super easy to manage. Now, once we have the base form that is automatically generated for you, the second step of the process is how will that campaign work? So you go a quick look over the configuration, you put pictures, you put your different description, text, HTML content, organizer information, and then different types of donation you might be gathering through the campaign and the various proposal you wish to show on your web page. You can modify them as you go. Super easy to do. Once again, it's a drag and drop system, super easy to modify to any amount you might wish to show on the web page. And once we're done with the basic configuration, we have our picture, text, proposals. The page is good to go. You can just click there. You have your campaign ready to be used and easy as ABC. Of course, there's a third important step, the automated communication. This is where you will come and create your thank you message, reminder, stuff like that. And all of those messages are linked to automated triggers. You don't have to worry about them. And you just come in and add various keywords, which you can pick straight from the database to put the person's name, the donation amount, the name of your organization, whatever information you might wish to automate inside of those communications. Super easy to do. You can redirect them to various content pages, and of course you will have the charity receipt added to that as an attached file. Talking about that, it is simply coming to receipts and clicking yes, I want to automate receipts above $20, and there you go. It is ready to use. It will automatically create and send those receipts. You don't have anything else to do. Now, once we have our receipts, communications, form, and the process that is set up, we're basically good to go. In this interface here is where you will have all of your various donations for the campaign. You can come any of them, see all of the information, consult the receipt, and anything you might wish to do. It will be a link to the payment, a link to the accounting system. Super easy to track anything you might need. Now, talking about accounting and online payment, this is where you will link your Yapla account to your bank account to be able to receive your donations. So it's super simple. You just come in and add a check specimen, and there you go. You will have a few items to do your credit verification, but otherwise, you're ready to receive your payments. Now, anytime a payment is received, it will automatically be logged into the system. If you use any paid version of Yapla, you will have access to the accounting system as well, where it will generate all of the different bills, send them automatically, and more importantly, classify them all. One quick part of the setup is to link your various chart of account to the items you're configuring, as well as the applicable taxes, if any. And by doing that, the system will automatically generate consolidation based on the various data you provided, which will classify all of your revenue. So you will see what is my events, donations, whatever revenue with the total for each account. Super simple to use and will greatly speed up all of that management process we were talking about earlier. Now, whenever a donor is registering, making a donation, it will automatically update your donors database. So it will create their donor file where you will find all of their donation, all of their information. It will create the organization file if the donor is linked to an organization. It will create an entry in the recurring donation database if you have recurring donation linked to that user. And it will create the entry for the receipts as well. If you ever have someone coming to you, maybe in March, who's like, hey, I lost my receipt, you type out their name, their email, or the receipt number, or whatever. You just click whatever one you need to send back, and it send, and there you go. Super easy like that. You could also send back all of the receipts for this users in a single click. Super easy to do. Now, once we have all of those basics item running, of course, we want people coming back. And that is where the contacts database and the newsletter section come in. Now, in the contacts database, whenever anyone registers a donation, it will create or update their contact. Those contacts will agglomerate with what we call groups. So for example, here, my contact, you went to my conference, you made donations, he's a member, you went to my dragon boat race, you went to my gala. All of those tags are added automatically when they fill out various process or your teams fill out various forms in the backend. All of those groups are then synced up to the newsletter system, which will allow you to easily target your donors. So you can say, hey, reach out to all my donors who participated in my general campaign. Send a message to all my members who never made a donation. Send a message to all the people who came to last year's gala. Send a message to all my donors who didn't do a donation in the past 12 months. All of those groups can be automatically generated, and especially for donation, you are able to create specific donor groups based on various donation parameters. So you can create any specific group based on the amount, period, and campaign they have participated to, and this will create automated targeting groups for your newsletter. Great tool to use to have more specific targeting. Like a classic I will see is to have a different targeting for all your larger donor who you might want to reach on a more personal basis. Let's say anyone who donated over $1,000 in the last year. Well, maybe those people you should give a phone call to, right? So you can remove them for different lists or have a specific mailing list for them based on those groups. Great tool to help you be more efficient with your targeting and to make it easier to bring people coming. Now, all of those tools can be integrated directly in a website. If you don't have a website for your organization, of course, you can start with those forms. Even if you have one, you can use them as is or embed them in your website. But if you wish to go further, well, you can create a full website with Yapla to have your various donations campaign running, and you could have a full website with us if you wish. So this section here allow to create and manage website, and all of it is based on various modules that are rather simple to use and understand. So all of my donation page with the various campaign we see on screen is all managed to this module here, which we call a donation section. Super intuitively. You simply give it a few settings, what you want to show, how many, do you have a thermometer, stuff like that. And once you're done with all those basics, it will gather all of the various campaign that you have set up in your donation module and send them in the website. So great tool to help you streamline the management and the different content that you wish to have on your website. You simply directly have this website in Yapla. Now, if you wish to transfer an existing website to Yapla, we are there as well to talk about it with you. Feel free to reach out to the team and we can help you make your project clearer. You can reach me out directly at marc-antoine-lebert@yapla.com if you wish. It will be a pleasure to chat with you. I'll leave you my email in the chat right there. You will also find it in the presentation, so don't fret it if you're watching later. So that's the basics about working with donations in Yapla, but then we can make it a bit more advanced. We can make charity events, which will use both the events and donation system. We can start making peer-to-peer campaign like my boat race over here. And now when it gets to a peer-to-peer campaign, the cool thing about it is that all of your various donor can then come in and create their own account and have their own profile for that campaign. And this will allow them to raise fund on your behalf. They can even make a team, all kinds of stuff like that. Upload presentation content. So really a great tool to help you reach out to your donors. And if people don't want to create their own campaign, they can just make a generic donation to your campaign. So great tool. It is a bit more advanced to use, as you will have to create the whole peer-to-peer process. How do people create their account? What do they put as information? But we are there to help you with that if you have any questions, which segues me to the technical support. At any point, you can type out your question right here. And for example, if I type out peer-to-peer, I will be linked to all of the content. How does it work? How do you link into the website? And all of those have linked article in our help center, which is a great resources. Basically, whenever you have a question, be sure to check out the help center. We have thousands of articles to help you get started. As well, we have a support team that is available at support@yapla.com and available through the software directly to book a call with. So be sure to get all the help you need whenever you have a question on how should I start working my peer-to-peer campaign, for example. So let's get back to the presentation for a second. I will share back my slides here. All right. So to bring that all together, basically you want to gain productivity and save time by automating as much of the process as can be automated. You want to measure your action to know their impact. So improve upon your communication, improve upon your process, and evaluate, did that bring in more donor this year? You want to work on enhancing your visibility, projecting a modern image, upgrading the way you communicate your goals, your needs, your objectives, your projects, so that people will be more interested. Make it a ritual. All of those key items, making an easier process, making better communication, being more visible, bringing people together, all of those will bring you toward raising more funds. So really, it is important to take actions at each step of the process and keep an eye on what you can improve for all of those details. Now, Just a quick point. Yapla is there to help you with any of your projects we need. Here, for example, is a nice comment by Annick with Fondation Gemini, with whom we did a project to help them integrate their use of the platform in their daily routine. But basically, as I just said, we have a full help center. We have a dedicated team that is there to help you with your various questions, need, challenges. We also have a team of experts that is there to accompany you, the professional services. So if you want to have a team of professional train your team on how to use the software, if you want to have an analysis of how you're going to do such a transition, maybe you want some counseling on the good methods and practice to implement. If you're looking at just someone to set up the database for you, to create a website, all of those kinds of things, we have a team of professional services that is there for you. You can once again reach out to me at Marc-Antoine Lebert at yapla.com, or be sure to reach us out through the support desk. It will be a pleasure to meet you in any case to talk about your project, help you get going. You can also find on your website various content that will give you, we hope, inspiration as to how to improve your communications, for example, or how to make for an easier donation process. Be sure to check out our website at yapla.ca/en. And finally, go and create a free account. Donation is fully available in the free version. You can start fundraising right away with the system and automating a wide array of your activities. So, a quick survey. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this webinar? What did you think of my performance? Anything we could improve? It will be a pleasure to take notes of your feedback. And while we take the results of the survey, let's go through any questions we might have received during the presentation, and be sure to submit your question in the following minutes. From what I can read right now, we didn't have a lot of questions as we went through the presentation, but if there's anything down the road, be sure to reach out to us at support@yapla.com. It will be a pleasure to answer you. And if you want to talk about your project, reach out to me. I will be pleased to evaluate all of that with you and see how we can best move forward with your organization's need. Once again, I'm Marc-Antoine Lebert, Professional Service Manager at Yapla, and it was a real pleasure to be with you today. I wish you a great fundraising season, and do not hesitate to get started. Even though we're already the 15th of November, you still have time to get a campaign going and make it all easy for you. So thank you once again, and have a great fundraising season all.